Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm still in the book. Ooh, I got a nice one for you today. This is one of my favorite guys, and it's because he's the concept of thinking, okay? He's God's mind, okay? Let's go. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? Oh, pay attention, you will, when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. Let's rock. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, so you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Mayat, be true. I hear stories where they say Mayat is the wife of Djehuti. I'm gonna leave that there. I just, every now and then I gotta get that out. Right thinkers, let's talk about why Djehuti is a quintessential Sebai, aka spiritual preceptor or sage. Some titles you have to earn. You don't get the title. No, you earn the title. You got to be what the title says in order to wear the title. Doctors can't claim to be a doctor if they haven't gotten a doctor's degree. You can't claim to be a master yourself if you ain't got your right thinking philosophy's degree, like me or from me. Let's go. Just joking. All right, let's get an understanding. Djehuti represents God's mind. The universe is understood to be like an ocean. Remember? The abyss and a ocean of matter, through which Ra sails on his barge in order to sustain creation. Philosophically, metaphorically, the sun. Djehuti is Ra's mind, the ultimate scribe, okay? The cosmic mind with which Ra moves through the ocean of his creation. Thus, the universe is known as an ocean of consciousness. We called it the Nu or the Noon, okay? That's the spirit. Ra uses the cosmic mind, Djehuti, to what? To create the objects and the varied forms of creation and maintain order in his creation. Therefore, matter, aka creation, is in reality what? Consciousness from the primeval ocean of consciousness, pure consciousness. We all are from there, which has taken on what? Forms. Spirit turns into matter, physical objects, in accordance with what? With the will of the cosmic mind, which is Djehuti. The cosmic mind also brings forth learning and knowledge to creation through what? Arts, sciences, language. Nothing is invented by human beings. We invented whoa. Again, I make statements. I'm going to explain to you what I'm saying. You ain't got to jump in and probably prove me wrong. Okay, learn something. Pay attention, listen. That's how you learn. Again, everything that is created by civilization comes from the cosmic mind, aka Djehuti. And we all have it. It's in all of us. It's an aspect, it's a concept, and not from any individual human being. Simple. And to believe otherwise would be egoistic thinking. Wrong thinking. I just told you, and you blah, blah, blah. That's wrong thinking. If you in opposition to what's right, you're going to be wrong. It's not me. That's just a fact. If what I'm telling you is right, you can't make me wrong because of what you believe and what you feel or what you think. Don't make a difference. I know. When you know, we've been on the same page. Moving on, that's the idea. But the more a person, watch this, is in tune with his cosmic mind, the more knowledge he or she can obtain. Okay? And the more inner peace and fulfillment a person can now experience for themselves. You know what we call that? Bliss, supreme peace, Hotep. Christians call it blissed out. Whatever you want to call it. But we got some more names for it. And watch this. But you have to what? Experience it. You can call it what you want once you had experience. But the fact of the matter is everybody has the opportunity to have experience for themselves so they can call it, think it, believe it, know it for themselves. The further away, watch this, a person gets from his cosmic mind and start influenced by his ego mind, negative actions, ignorance, and delusions, the less able that person is to discover goodness, inner peace, knowledge, happiness, and long health and a long life. Certain things you can do to prolong your life. Certain things you can do to shorten your life. Your choice. Again, watch this. Djehuti, again, the mind, your consciousness, is the quintessential image of the Sebai, which is a spiritual preceptor, aka a sage, a mystic, a guru. In this story, the word Sebai, S-E-B-A-I, is the Commission term meaning spiritual preceptor or sage. What's that? Preceptor, spiritual preceptor, sage is a teacher of spiritual truths. Well, how you know the truth? Nobody knows the truth. Spiritually, we got to have concepts and myths and allegorical stories, and you have to manifest the truth for yourself. Believing something ain't true. That don't make it true. You manifesting it because you believe in it. I told you about that too. That's the power of belief. And once they got wind of that, they use it to their benefit and got you believing. Moving on. We was knowers, not believers. I'm a knower, not a believer. I fellowship with believers. Okay, they're good people, but I know. And through their believing, they know for themselves what they believe in is true for them. Simple. I got no problem. But a spiritual preceptor is a sage who shows what others. I do what I do for you. I'm here to help you to what? Know you. I already know me. And they're here to show others the way to understand their higher reality beyond the ordinary phenomenal universe. He or she shows others how to what? Discover their true identity, to know thyself, and realize their oneness with the divine. I tell you that every day. This is why. I know what I'm doing. Your choice to come and get it or not, but I know what I'm doing. And in essence, what are they? They are spiritual guides. I take pride in that. I take great pride in knowing I fit the bill for that concept. I ain't saying I'm that. What I'm doing to you that. That's my point. I'm good. I got another page, good information. And Djehuti is the one that brings everybody knowledge. When Haru lost his sight, He repaired the eye. Okay? Eye of consciousness. When Hadu lost her weight, he repaired the eye. Why? She lost her way through the ignorance and she got what? Hooked up in what? Something that wasn't good. Negative aspect. Okay? She liked it, what she was doing, even though it was wrong. And he repaired both of them consciousness and helped them out to get through the situation. That's what Djehuti does. That's what your mind is for. It's to solve problems, not just create them or understand them. No, solve them. Manifest what you believe. If it's true, you can manifest it. Simple. And in the beginning, the spiritual preceptor, listen, must help the individual to somehow turn their ignorance and anguish and pain of their experience due to the ignorance as a result of their interaction with the world into what? Their desires to rise above it when you want to get better. I didn't change it till I wanted to not be that. Some of us never change. Okay? Understand that. But to this end, you have a series of techniques and disciplines that have been developed over thousands of years. Some of these methods are, myths, parables, mental disciplines, meditation, and physical culture, which is yoga exercises and disciplines that develops in your internal life force, teaches you how to raise your kundalini, teaches you how to become conscious of what? Your higher self. The teacher needs to help you, the student, seeker, to what? Restructure and channel those what? Energy, negative, which arise from what? Disappointments and frustration into what? Now a healthy dispassion. Stop getting emotional. Stop getting caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense and getting your temperature all crazy. Maintain yourself. Take your emotion out of the situation. That will help you. And you stop being caught up in what? The illusionariness of the world and its entanglements. You gotta have this. You gotta keep up the Joneses. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. You gotta stay black and die. And before you're doing that, know thyself. The teacher shows the way to develop your spiritual aspiration and your understanding and your self-effort right there. What you put in is what you're gonna get out. If you do a little bit, you're gonna get a little bit. You get the concept? You reap what you sow. So your self-effort will determine, and your self-effort when it's directed as sustaining a valuable personal spiritual program, aka Shidi, means to study profoundly. That's right there in philosophy. That's what I do daily. Why? To teach you. I gotta continue to learn. If I'm gonna continue to teach, I gotta continue to learn. And I give you what? Life lessons. Why? I'm learning them as I go also. I ain't master life. I just master the philosophy that I know. But life, I'm still a student. Okay? Understand that. And Shiti means to study profoundly on the lessons that are being presented to you. Master them to your best ability. Self-effort. Anything that got to do with you, you should give it your best effort. That's what I'm saying. That's self-effort. In the ancient Egyptian mythology, there are two great spiritual preceptors. This is fun. Djehuti is one of them. Why? He is the wonderful teacher of Hadu. When she lost her weight, he came at the baboon and did his thing. The other one is, you ready for this one? Aset. Oh, she gangstered the secret from Ra to gain all power. What she can bring back to life. She had the power, the ability to bring it back to life, which she did with Asar to get pregnant, to give birth to what? Hadu. They came and killed him. She brought him back to life too. That's why she was called the greatest. But she's the teacher. She taught Hadu. That's our mother teaching us about life. I got my own Aset, my mom. Everything good about me, I attribute to my mom. Everything manly about me, I attribute to my dad. Simple as that. Couldn't have one without the other. I wouldn't be balanced without them both in my life. So I understand the concept. And again, I said, in the she taught Asar, the story of Asar, Aset and Haru, otherwise known as the Asarian, what? Resurrection. We are the resurrection of God. The ego killed the spirit. Aset, wisdom, brought the spirit back to get impregnated with what? The aspirants, Haru, to continue the spirit. That's me and you, human beings, concept. And Aset is the teacher of who? Her son, Haru. All mothers are. She trains him in the arts, the sciences, and the mystical philosophy of creation and the nature of the divine self. So she was teaching him about his father. Okay? She enables Haru, that's the spirit, that's in me and you conceptually, to be able to receive the divine, achieve the divine vision, open up the third eye, knowing thyself, which she obtained, who? From Ra. Told you, she got the inside scoop. In the story of Ra and Aset, another good story. She did her thing on there. But a spiritual preceptor is not only a person who has attained a high level of internal self-discovery and purity, but also a person who is well-versed in what? In the spiritual scripture writings and has knowledge of parables and the myths along with their mystical implications, meaning he understands the stories, he get them, I'm teaching them from the book. He or she also knows the practice which lead a person to spiritual evolution, aka the yoga disciplines. I mastered all of them. That's what gets you to understand every situation that you're in and still maintain what? You're cool. Okay? The yoga discipline keeps me, maintain me. Back on the streets, I call it maintaining my cool. Same concept, same thing. Why? When you use it, you'll know. In teaching, watch this. If the teachings is given directly, it may be what? Misunderstood or even repudiated altogether due to what? The state of mind of the person that you're trying to teach. Hence, you can't force this on nobody. You either want it or you don't. Simple as that. That's my understanding. And hence, the student, you, right thinker, must be properly initiated into the teachings and understand the proper relationship must be established between what? Teacher, student. I teach, you learn. Anything you want to know about what I'm teaching, you can ask what? I can answer it. You ain't got to think, assume, or thought. Just if you misunderstand, misinterpret, I'll explain it to you. If you need it broke down a little more, fine powder where you can digest it. The teacher also offers humility and honesty with a beguiling wit. You gotta have a little humor in there. I throw a joke every now and then, but that's all part of the character. Cheerfulness, I got a brother say, dude, 5 years, you still come with the same energy. Yeah. It ain't gonna change. Moving on. But cheerfulness and an uplifting outlook. If I'm not feeling good, I ain't coming here. If I ain't, no, I'm not coming here, not in the right state of mind to do what I do, which is to enlighten, teach, inspire, motivate you. So I don't, I do or I don't do. And this is symbolized how? By the divine, what they call food, which is knowledge that's offered to Haru. Knowledge. I'm giving you divine food now. My son had a lesson. He was doing his thing, food for thought. So we go the same way. Enough. He's the thinker too. All right. But the teacher also brings divine food, spiritual knowledge, the truth in the form of wisdom, teachings, which uplift what? The mind, and by relieving the burden of what? Pain and sorrow from what? From the ignorant and negative actions that you brought on yourself, which weighs down the soul of all human beings due to what? The ignorance, and that brings on negativity. And negativity, wrong thinking leads to bad, wrong actions, and you end up suffering and paying the price for that. You got a choice. Do what's right, you're blessed. Do what's wrong, pay the consequences. And you might not want to do that. Why? Because, no, your choice. Live with them. Make the choice that you can live with. That's all. I was a drug dealer. I knew either I'm going to get killed or I'm going to jail. I lucked out. I got jail. Okay, I got time to rearrange my life and get it together and move on. That's just what I did. Simple. I can tell you that. There ain't nothing. Anybody who done it would tell you, yeah. called learning, life lessons. All right. But the divine food is the taste of what? Divine glory, meaning when you live and do right, you will be blessed, and that's divine glory. You walking in God's grace, you blessed. Yeah, but you only do that for living right. The Kundalini serpent only rises if you living right. That's all tied into the concept. And it is a glimpse of what we call the goal, which you, the disciple, must aspire to experience for oneself in its fullness. A glimpse of the taste of what? I want some more. If I give you information, knowledge that you practice, learn, and it's did better, you want what? More. I got more, come get it. Yeah, until you get full knowledge of self. However, this fullness is only experienced in its degrees as what? The teacher gives the spiritual teachings, and as it is assimilated, meaning practice, put into use by you, the student, when? Daily. No days off. 6 years in running. Ain't missed a day yet. That's consistency. A few weeks, a few months, a few years. Okay, let's get 10. Let's talk in 10. Simple as that. See me in 10 years. I got 4 more to go. I'll still be doing what I'm doing. Hopefully, let's go. But you, the student, must learn to have respect and trust your teacher. If you have issues with the teacher, it won't work. If you got jealousy, envy, or whatever, don't have nobody teach you who you ain't going to trust and show respect to. Simple as that. It won't work. And also, you, the student, must allow the teachings to penetrate deeply within your heart. Take it personal. When I took my oath as a Mason, I'm not going to break none of my oaths. Why? I take it personal. That's why. Simple as that. Anything you do, you can make it sacred, make it personal. But again, you do the ritual to get the concept. I stand on what I believe. And I did it. I'm with it. No problem. And I'm going to uphold my end. That's what you got to do in life. And it is only then that what the teachings will have what they call the transformative effect. It should change you. You should change from what you used to be, ignorant, no knowledge of self, into what? Intelligent with knowledge of self, enlightened. Now you know who you are. You're a different person. Not knowing who you are ain't a good place to be or a good state of mind. Sorry. But in the myth, the story of Djehuti and Djehuti, Djehuti, what she did, she allowed Djehuti's words to what? Penetrate her cold, anguished heart. She was mad. When people get heartbroken, they go crazy. When people of the heart, they get hurt, when they be stabbing, man, they go, that's anger, that's rage. Jealous rage, what they call it, lover's rage, whatever. But when that heart is hurt and the mindset, that's what that is, okay. But when you can soften their heart with what? Music, words, anything to get him out that mind. Djehuti used the smoothing part, calmed her down. And then what happened? She began to remember her past glory, okay? And this is the process of what we call divine memory. The more I hear about people say our ancestors said, know thyself. They saying, remember. And the more I keep going by, I hear that, keep my memory. Yeah, the body had memory, the spirit had memory. I understand that, so I'm not arguing, debating. I just said, knowing, meaning you have your experience. The memory comes from what? Having never experienced again, I guess, but deja vu, whatever. But again, knowing your process is they call that divine memory, remembering who you were. Wherein what? She began to regain the remembrance of her true identity. There you go. Which is the pain of seeing, but I love this part right here. And amazing grace comes to mind. Watch this. The pain of seeing her current level of existence fall to that level in comparison with her past glory, where she was riding high, and the glory of her father brought her to tears. Watch this, okay. Also, she felt the pain of realizing what? That she was missing out on the boundless divine love of her what? Father. Any child separated from their parent can't be a good thing. Everybody wants that love. And she wanted her father's love. And watch this. This is the common emotional experience of a spiritual aspirant, what? When they understanding of what their true predicament begins to dawn, what have I done? How I come down from the heights of my divinity to the limit state of what? Human life, mortality. You fell from grace to this existence. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Spiritual is good, high rating. Ignorant is the egotistic person thinking they're human. A lot of us go through life and never become conscious of who we really are, okay? But here's the part right here. How wretched am I? How degraded have I become? Am I these? Am I these? And these are the kinds of questions. These are the kinds of questions that you ask, that is asked by a spiritual aspirant before he or she begins to what? Understand the meaning of spiritual teachings and becoming awakened and resurrected. They're still in that ignorant state of mind, feeling bad, having a pity party within themselves, wondering how they get here. What they do? Put it together, get it together, and start walking and doing what you need to be doing, and everything will change. All of a sudden, life gets a little bit better. Things get a little bit more rosier. And from this, watch this. And this form of thinking leads to a personal resolution to regain what? One's true glory. Okay? To rise back up from the degraded state they're in of ignorance. Right there. Ding, ding, ding. May I find somebody or a teacher who can guide me on the path to what? Self-discovery, spiritual enlightenment at once. Can that happen? Yes. Thus, Het Haru came to respect who? Djehuti. She accepted his offerings. Listen to his teachings. Listen to his teaching. Listen to his teaching, and later trusted him with what? Her life. She all in. Okay, I'm with it. As one begins to reflect on the teachings, intuitional understanding opens up the opportunity to now to view the beauty and have the experience of the infinite compassion of oneself. Then there are no more what? Questions about who you are, what's going on. Only a keen desire to what? Experience this elevated state of consciousness more and more. An aspirant might say at this point, what? I have glimpsed a wondrous bliss within. Let me fully discover it and abide in it. When you find God, when you become connected to God, you want to stay with him. You want to abide in him. You want him to be with you all the time. And guess what? Before you find that out, he was already there. I found that out the old-fashioned way. Rock bottom, ass out, nothing else. And that's all you had. That's when I found God for myself. Again, here's the picture I showed you earlier. I'm going to break it down for you right quick. The I always signifies consciousness, okay? Your consciousness. You need to see you for who you really are. And we are God and goddesses, okay, male and female. Above, I just showed you the left side. That's Djehuti restoring the I, the Ujat, Wajet, I of who? Which set egoism had blinded Haru in their fight. He took his eyesight. He lost his conscience in a fit of rage. Haru went crazy, okay, ballistic. Anger took over and frustration kicked in, and he reacted by cutting off his mom's head. Okay, so they're telling you the ego has no compassion for nobody. Once you get enraged, you pretty much do anything. Okay, so the idea is to control that thing in you, that rage, the Hulk. Okay, set on the other side. Above, I just showed you this picture with Djehuti restoring to who? Het Haru, the Ujat, the I of consciousness, which had become blinded by her ignorance and indulgence in what? Eating flesh, loving blood. She got bloodthirst. She just loved that blood. Okay? And she got ignorant and lost her way. These are purpose and reasons in life that we all go through. We show you the story and teach you how the mind corrects everything that's in you. As above, so below. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I got to go. But right thinkers, I'm having fun. I hope you enjoy these lessons and try them out, practice them. Become Djehuti. Why? Become a right thinker. In closing, right thinkers me, y'all. There'll be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never knew that my right thinkers had passed away. I'll be right back.